All right, what is good, everybody? Quam Credible here, and we have Black Clover chapter 321. And this chapter, like, overall, it's not a bad chapter. The chapter's not bad. It's actually kind of a really decent chapter, honestly. But there's just like, it's just that one thing of just, I personally don't really care about Sekke all that much. I know a lot of people do like Sekke and like how funny he is and like all the memes that like surround him, Dark Lord Sekke. But me personally, I never got into the Sekke memes all like that, so I didn't really care about him. And this chapter, I feel like did a really good job of at least attempting to, I guess, give this comic relief character some character development, which I'm not like 100% mad at. I definitely never expected we get any type of development for Sekke in a chapter, but I did think that the parts in the beginning of the chapter were really cool with like teleporting in front of like Lucifaro, and then like him and Marileona getting a team up, like Lucifaro taking notice that Marileona's magical power is just constantly getting stronger, like she's getting stronger and stronger throughout the fight. And also Marileona's been even more impressive because she was fighting with all of the captains under the Valhalla spell, but while Valhalla is active you're invincible, but once it's broken or the spell ends you still take all of the damage that you had already taken. So she's tanked all of the damage that she's already taken, and she's still fighting. So Marileona is looking mad impressive. Definitely, like without a doubt at this point, like definitely without a doubt, the strongest captain pound for pound. I mean, you could argue matchups, but at least at this exact moment, to me, strongest captain, for sure, because she's the only one still fighting. So there is that. So we get this team up of and Marileona fighting against Lucifaro, which is like, it's kind of funny because it's like, where's Leo? Has anyone seen Leo? Leo came to the Spade Kingdom and just vanished. Like it's funny because is getting this team up with Marileona, and I almost feel like it should kind of be. I'm not saying that Leo should be fighting Lucifaro, but it's like, where is he? Like he hasn't done anything at this point. At this point for Leo, the situation is so far gone. Like we are well past any level of what Leo is going to be able to do or be able to like keep up with. Like Leo is just not going to be able to do anything with where it is now. Like he's missed his like moment. Either that or Tabata has forgotten that he is a character, one of the two. But one thing that I did think was really interesting with Yuno's encounter with Lucifaro is the fact that he did attempt to cut him with the sort of Zephyr, but it didn't really do any damage. It did no damage actually, and Yuno does remark that this is different from with Xenon. So I know there's probably going to be this huge debate or back and forth on if Yuno is actually using Saint Stage or if he isn't using Saint Stage. I mean, I could see the arguments both ways. Me personally, I'm going to assume he is because I have no reason to assume he isn't. I mean, Lucifaro has just been shown to be built different, so I mean, I don't see why this wouldn't attribute to that also. And then again, he did note that it was different from Xenon, so maybe he's implying that he tried the same thing he did with Xenon, but it's not working like it did with him. So, I mean, I'm just going to assume he was. But while this were fighting, we do get this moment with Mimosa, Sekke, or I guess not Mimosa Sekke, but with Sekke, and then Mimosa attempting to heal Asta. And, Sekke's being Sekke, and it's like, oh, well, we should try to get out of here. And one thing I liked about Sekke right here is that, like, he's blaming it all on everyone else. He's not really taking accountability for anything because he is Sekke. And he also chalks up Yuno being able to do anything just because he's different. Like, he was like, oh, he had a 4-leaf Clover Grimoire, and he just got another one, and he's Spade Royalty. So it's like, Sekke just completely attributed all of Yuno's success to him just being born special. But then when he starts to think about Asta, he thinks about like how, hard Asta actually had to work and how much work he had to put in to get there, which I thought was like, it was able to kind of connect it back to him. And he also tries to get Mimosa to leave with him, and this is when we kind of shift our focus over to Mimosa. And honestly, I did not like how Mimosa was handled here. I mean, not just because I'm a big Mimosa fan, but just because it doesn't really make any sense to me, because she's attempting to heal Asta, but she is unable to, saying that like she doesn't have enough magic, the spell isn't working as it should. It's just really weird to me because Mimosa really hasn't been unable to heal anybody before from like a life or death scenario, like with like Noelle initially, or with herself when she was wounded back, those two in the dungeon arc, or with like Raya when you had like a hole through them, or like anybody else that she's healed in the Spade Kingdom, or just tons of people that she's healed from the brink. But like now all of a sudden she can't heal Asta, and it's like, I get it, she did use her ultimate magic, but on one hand, I see no reason why she can't do it multiple times since Luck has used his multiple times. I see no reason why she wouldn't be able to, or even if you want to take it to where she can't, because she used her magic. It's like ultimate magic. She can't normally, like humans can't normally do ultimate magic anyway. They have to use the mana from nature. So it's not like she was really using her own magic for the ultimate magic spell anyway. If you remember back to what Dryad was talking about. So it's like I don't understand why Mimosa is unable to heal Asta at this moment. I mean, if you want to take it as like, I guess one of the potential reasons could be that maybe Lucifaro himself has drained the area of natural mana, which I mean, it could make sense, but it just feels like a stretch since we have nothing that implies that at this moment. Or you could take it as like maybe there's just anti-magic coursing through Asa's body right now for some reason, so she can't heal him because it's neutralizing. I mean, like you could try to like contort and like mix some ways around, but her not being able to heal Asta just feels weird to me.
That's some bullshit.
It's like it just feels like Tabata just nerfed her randomly for no reason, which I mean it makes sense because Mimosa could just heal people, but hopefully next chapter we get a legitimate reason. I kind of feel like we won't, but this moment right here just feels like bad. And then from here we have Asta getting up anyway after, you know, her healing spell fails, and he's going to the battlefield to fight with Yuno. And we get like that moment for Sekke, you know, Sekke's whole crowning moment of like, why didn't I try to become stronger like you? So it's really good development on Sekke's part on as long as one thing happens. As long as after whatever happens here, Sekke maintains that same energy and like tries to change himself for the better, then it'll be good development for Sekke. Like if we get out of this and Sekke's still haha and just skipping out on his duties and not really trying, then I guess his moment will be for no reason. Only time will tell for Sekke if this is good development or not. As far as, you know, Asta, you know, good stuff for Asta still getting up, wanting to fight. I'm not for sure exactly what he's going to be able to do since he's not healed. There was this panel of like, it kind of looks like latent anti-magic is kind of like coming off of him or something. I mean, maybe that is going to allude to something, but I mean, I have no idea what he's going to be able to do. I did like the parallels people were drawing between this and Bleach when they were talking about how Orihime was unable to heal Ichigo in the fight with Ucleora, and saying that this was kind of similar, which I thought that was a little neat touch. I will say one thing about like a lot of the comparisons between Bleach is like, yes, Tabata does have, you know, some things from like some inspirations or some things can be connected back to Bleach, but I always want to people to remember that it's not like he's copying Bleach or anything. It's just like there are tropes that are common across multiple stories. I feel like some people might think that, oh, like Black Clover copies Naruto and Black Clover copies Bleach. That's really not the case all like that. But enough of that. All in all, the chapter really wasn't that bad. Just the stuff with Mimosa was weird for me, and I personally just don't care about Sekke. So I mean, like, him having a moment, it didn't really hit for me. It's not like Sekke's been important in the previous 300 chapters, so him getting a spotlight now is just like, who cares? I mean, at least for me, if you like Sekke, this is probably a great chapter for you, but for me, not really. But overall, chapter's pretty decent. More pages than 15, so I guess I can't complain too much. I give it probably like a 7. Yeah, probably like a 7. I don't really, like as I said before, I don't really know what they're about to do because Asta's like done. Like he is spent, so we're gonna have to wait till next week. There is no break, so we're gonna have to wait till next week to see what's going on with that. But that being said, I have nothing else for you guys. So you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good one. I will see you all in my next video.